exciting one.
That's one that's been talked about. Batterskull, some players are like, why play Wurmcoil Engine when you can just play one that's one cheaper? Which I suppose is reasonable. He's got 4 Gitaxian probes, so Josh going for the 4 probe approach.
Not a card you see much of in Standard nowadays.
On the other hand, it looks like we've got
Matt
Black
Hoey.
Control.
Yeah, it looks like we have Grave Titans, Wurmcoil Engine, Snapcaster Mage for the creatures, Mana Leak, 1 Geth's Verdict, 1 Tribute to Hunder, so a couple Edict effects in there.
Yeah.
Forbidden Alchemy.
It looks to me like a lot like Caleb Durward's list with the one of...
yeah, it does.
1 Tributes.
So we have some Forbidden Alchemies, Doomblade, Life's Finale.
There we go.
Wow, 2 of them in there. 3 Think Twice, 4 Dissipate, a couple Ring Flash, Negate, Victim of Night, and then the usual suspects for his land, including Ghost Quarter and Nephalia Drownyard. So this should be an exciting Game 3.
He has 1 Liliana Vest written up for his Planeswalkers. I presume that's Liliana of the Veil, right? Because Vest isn't legal right now.
I think it's not, yeah.
Hopefully, it's Liliana of the Veil.
It's going to be a little awkward on turn 5 if he casts a Vest, but I'm sure it's Liliana of the Veil.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so here we are. Matt Hoey leads off with Drowned Catacombs.
And Josh Rayden fights back with a Plains.
Yep.
And another...
Looks like Josh went pretty deep into the Mulligan tank, going all the way down to 5.
Wow.
Not where you want to be. Gorgeous Guru Lance for Josh Rayden, though.
He is on the draw, though, so hopefully that'll be able to recoup some card advantage for him.
A lot of people might question the one-ofs in Matt Hoey's deck. Inkbot Nexus down for Josh Rayden. A lot of people might question the one-ofs, but with Snapcaster Mage in your deck, it's often right to split your removal spells so you can have versatility later on in the game. And yeah, there's Liliana of the Veil hiding out in Matt Hoey's hand.
Very good.
So not
no
Liliana
game losses
Vest.
today.
Yeah.
All right, so Nexus gets in for 1. Looks like Josh doesn't have another play. Or maybe he's trying to bait out a removal spell from Matt because he's land flooded. I can't really tell.
I mean, if I were Matt and I had a removal spell, I would instantly kill that Nexus.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like he doesn't. And there's Forbidden Alchemy.
Okay, so he's going to see a Doomblade, Dark Slick Shores. Can't tell what the other ones are.
So he's got Dissipate in his hand. Snapcaster Mage.
Snapcaster, and I think that's a Tribute to Hunger, I want to say.
Tribute to Hunger.
A card that hasn't seen much love yet.
Yeah, I think that was Tribute he pitched.
So he takes the land.
Alright, getting land number 4. Draws another.
And it looks like his hand has a Dissipate in it. That's the only card I can tell right now. So he leaves Dissipate mana up.
Down comes one of those incredible Scars lands. Really some of the best dual lands we've seen in years.
Yeah, really well balanced, too. A drawback that's not too bad, but not too good.
Down comes Glacial Fortress.
And it's like Josh is thinking about whether to serve with his Nexus or play a spell. Ask how many cards are in Matt's hand. Probably trying to gauge whether to play around a counter spell or a removal spell here. And it is really tough against the blue-white decks. Okay, so he's just going to activate both Nexus and get in.
Yeah, so with Josh Mulligan getting down to 5, he's decided, well, I know a way I can just win this game, and that's if I just get enough hits with Nexus.
Yeah, and Matt Hoey goes up to 3 poison.
Yep. Matt Hoey is sitting on Nephalia Drownyard, in case you're wondering what that land is. All right, there's a Ratchet Bomb down for Matt Hoey. Now, Ratchet Bomb says non-land, correct?
I believe it does, yeah.
So, you cannot kill off those Inkbot Nexus.
No, but he's very clearly leaving up counter mana, and I imagine if Josh attacked for 2 next turn, or last turn, he'll do the same this turn.
Yeah, I believe Matt should be at 3 poison right now, going up to 5 this turn.
Because if he didn't have it last turn, it's unlikely that he has it this turn. And at this point, that's just something like a 3-turn clock.
Yep. And like I said, I totally like Josh's line of play here. I think if you're behind, you start doing this.
Yep.
I would have attacked both there, I think, just because what's going to happen is you want to get as much 2 as possible, because Matt is liable to draw a removal spell at some point.
Right.
And then you end up going down, onto a 1-turn clock. And although Matt is on an odd number of poison, I'm pretty sure he's on 3 poison right now, not 2. Although he's on an odd number of poison, I would rather just get in for 2.
Right, I mean, in Josh's eyes, it doesn't take a turn off the clock, but
it could later on.
It will, yeah. So Josh leaving 3 up. That's interesting. He does have Mana Leaks in his deck.
And Dissipate.
And 1 Dissipate. So, and looks like Matt just says go. No land, no play.
I'm sure when Matt pitched that Doomblade, Josh was probably a little worried with the Forbidden Alchemy. So maybe Josh was trying to figure out what was going on there.
And as we see, it looks to be Snapcaster Mage. Matt's hand looks like it has that Tribute, a Negate, a Dissipate. So he's stocked up on counter magic here. But he has to deal with these Nexuses, these Nexi.
Alright, taps that, down, activates a Nexus. He's only going to get it for 1 again? He only gets it for 1.
Interesting.
Now imagine if Matt just attacked with both in these last couple turns. I mean, if Josh attacked with both Nexus these past couple turns, Matt would just be in a much better position. Or, sorry, Josh would be in a much better position, I think.
And now we see an end of turn Tribute to Hunger, trying to get rid of one of those Nexuses. Matt leaving 2 untapped, so vulnerable to a mana leak if Josh chooses to use it here.
Yeah, Josh does have that Dissipate. If he wants to make sure that his hunger is not tributed, nope, he just lets the Nexus die. And now that this is exactly what I'm talking about, that other Nexus is going to be a lot more hard-pressed to deal the remaining 5 poison.
Right, Matt could be at 7 poison right now, but instead he's at 5.
And instead a 3-turn clock looks much more palatable. Now, granted, Matt does have Snapcaster Mage in his hand, and he'd be able to kill off that other Nexus,
but Josh doesn't know that.
Josh doesn't know that, yeah.
So now he untaps, draws what looks like an Angelic Destiny, I think that was.
Yeah.
That's an exciting one. If he can ever sneak that onto an Inkmoth Nexus when Matt's tapped out.
It only takes 1 turn.
Yeah. Matt thinks he's safe to tap out for something like a Grave Titan. That won't be the case.
We can see that Matt goes untap Grave Titan. What is the worst that could possibly happen? Untap, activate Nexus, give it Angelic Destiny, attack you for lethal.
Oh my.
Oh, I would definitely not do that here.
Although Matt's just taking it. So maybe we'll see an end of turn
End-step Tribute to Hunger.
Snapcaster.
I guess I can't tell what's in Josh's hand. If you have nothing else to do, I would probably do that. But at this point, I think you really want to lean on the play of when you tap out for Grave Titan and do something else.
Right.
All right, so Josh is going to, or Matt is going to mill Josh for 3 with Nephalia Drownyard.
Interesting choice. I don't know if I would do that just because Matt has so much gas in his hand. I think you have to deal with the threat of those Nexi, or that one Nexus that's left.
I would just snap down the Mage and flashback. I'm kind of surprised he didn't do that.
We'll see what he has in store for us here.
Matt's hand is loaded. Is he didn't go for Grave Titan? Or was a mana short to do so?
1 short. Maybe that's a good thing for him because he would just die if he chose to do that.
But what he doesn't know is, Josh would go Angelic Destiny my Inkmoth Nexus.
And I don't really like attacking with that Nexus here because you want Matt to be at 5 poison because you want him to think he's safe. You want him to tap out for Grave Titan.
Exactly. Or, if you're at 3, maybe it's a little more dangerous. And Matt just takes it again, goes up to 7.
Wow.
We were talking last night about Angelic Destiny. Like, we made a joke, like, if somebody does that'll be hilarious. But
it's a reasonable line of play right now. Yeah.
I'm surprised. Why is he not Snapcaster Maging?
Doesn't Snapcaster, doesn't even mill. So he must have something planned that we don't know.
You at least want to mill yourself, right?
Right. Mill somebody. So he has a lot of Edict effects right now. He just drew a Geth's Verdict with a Liliana in hand.
He has plenty of answers for that Nexus. Yeah, I don't like those Nexus attacks. Once again, I don't know what's in Josh's hand. Maybe he...
maybe the tempo of this match is something that we don't know about. Maybe it's just a draw-go match, a long, fought-out match. Maybe that could explain their play here.
Yeah, I mean, Josh maybe just doesn't have any action in his hand.
Yeah.
Attacking isn't the worst. Maybe he just thinks Matt doesn't have any removal or any Snapcaster Mages, but you really can't afford to lose that Nexus here. You just have to trick... Matt has to tap for Grave Titan eventually, and when he does, you just get him.
Yep. And Matt discards Liliana, so that lets Josh know that he's not short on action.
Looks like Josh even has the Mirror Crusader in his hand, and there's the Geth's Verdict.
With Dissipate mana up.
With Dissipate mana untapped. That's bad news for Josh Rayden.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to attack there. If Matt's discarding, you just want to let him force the action. And Josh mulling over his options.
Yeah,
has his Dissipate mana ready.
Now, if Josh has a mana leak, he could go Dissipate mana leak.
Yep. And then after that, you would think that Matt would just slam down that Grave Titan if he draws that 6th land.
See what Josh opts to do. Can't quite make out what's in his hand.
No. Definitely Angelic Destiny. Was that a Consecrated Sphinx that we saw?
I don't think he has a Consecrated Sphinx in his deck.
No,
so
no Sphinx.
I sure hope not.
2 Sword of Feast and Famine. I just saw those. So looks like an awkward draw for Josh. All enhancers, but no creatures here.
Well, he does have Mirror Crusader in his hand, though.
Yep.
He could have cast that this turn, and even then you get to go Crusader Angelic Destiny if something bad happens. I don't know.
Josh deep in the tank on this one. Not sure what his plan is.
Well, he needs to make a choice soon. Gotta make sure you play within the allotted time.
Yep. So he does dissipate it.
All right, he goes for Dissipate. See,
Matt
will Mana Leak back.
instantly Mana Leaks, and Josh just lets it resolve.
Oh, brutal.
So dealt 7 poison, but now has no more Nexus.
Yeah, now if he draws another one, maybe he can get somewhere, but...
And there's the Grave Titan.
And imagine if Josh was just not attacked with that Nexus. He would have went Crusader, Matt would have went End Step Tribute to Hunger, Josh would have dissipated to draw out that Grave Titan, Matt goes untap, slams down Grave Titan, then Josh just wins with his Angelic Destiny.
Yeah, I guess it didn't play out that way. Maybe he thought that Matt only had 5 lands. Probably wouldn't happen, but...
Maybe.
And here we have a Snapcaster. Flashbacking nothing.
Just the old 2-1.
Wow.
I think a lot of players don't have a plan when they play, which is always a big thing for me. It's really important you have a plan.
I think it was Mike Flores that always said, think of how the board state will look when you win the game.
Yeah,
and that's,
exactly.
It's a little corny, but it's true. I mean, you have to know exactly how you're going to win, your route to victory. And now it seems like Josh just played a Snapcaster without knowing why, because he's thinking in his first main right now.
Yeah, I don't know why you would just go ahead and Snapcaster if you don't have a plan. I mean, so Matt did have that Ratchet Bomb, which would have eaten away that Mirror Crusader.
Right.
But I think he could have still orchestrated the game to eventually set up a state where he wins with Angelic Destiny on Equal Nexus.
Right, I mean, if you keep Matt at 5 poison, he's not going to know that he's in danger, because Angelic Destiny is not a commonly played card. It's not in most blue-white blades. And even if it is, it's usually as a 2-of. And here we see a shot of Josh going over his options.
He's certainly not in a good position right now.
Shaking his head.
He needs to make a decision soon, though. What's it gonna be, Josh?
Matt's graveyard all fanned out. Sort of a Telfer Snapcaster mage right there. Not that Josh can really play around it much right now. And tapping 3. Sword of Feast and Famine, okay. So he's going to try and get in with that Snapcaster. But I imagine that Matt's just going to, he pops his Ratchet Bomb and he'll block with his Grave Titan.
Alright, yeah, the Grave Titan gets blocked.
So, interesting line of play. Not sure what his plan is here. Very unlikely that he has Day of Judgment in his deck, post-board against a blue-black control deck, and I think that's going to be his only answer here.
I don't think Josh has anything going on right here.
No, I think this game's pretty much over at this point.
I think the blue-black player has it locked up. I mean, Mirror Crusader, I guess.
Yeah, Josh is at 9 life right now, not 19. So if he blocks that Grave Titan, he'll go to 1 and, dissipate.
Yeah, I think Grave Titan and a bunch of LSVs is going to take this down.
The marauding LSVs.
The marauding LSVs.
Signed, too.
No jokes. All right, I'm O-ring away the Grave Titan.
And
negate
that's going to seal
Hoey.
it. And there's the hand.
Josh Rayden tried, fought a valiant effort, ended up losing.
Yeah, I think with a little different plan, he might have come away with a win there, but we also had the benefit